everybody. This is Distinctive Delphine to give you the real talk every day at 5 p.m. And today, to get amazing updates on the mortgage industry, don't you want to know what's happening there? We have Will Harnsen from the Cornerstone Lending Inc. here in Montrose, our very own Will. How are you doing, Will?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Delphine. And you?
I'm great, thank you. So I know that you're a native of Colorado, born in Denver, and reside in Montrose since 1970. Not many of us have been here for this long.
Yep.
So I would love to learn a little bit more about you and what you love most about mortgages and how do you help the community. This is really a talk about how can we help others understand what's happening. Is it the right time to buy? Is it the right time to sell? Is it the right time to get to refi? And so we'll go through all this together, but tell me a little bit more about you and how long you've been in the business and how much you like it.
I love the mortgage business. And the reason I love the mortgage business is that no loan is ever the same. Everybody is different. Everybody's got a different situation, a different circumstance. If mortgage was like stamping widgets, I would have quit 20 years ago because I couldn't do that. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've done thousands of loans, and I love helping. I love helping people. Think about it. I get to help you with typically the biggest purchase in your life, and I'm part of that. I mean, that is something to be very grateful, and I'm very honored to be able to do that.
That's amazing. It's the same with the real estate industry. This is the biggest purchase of their lives, and it's just such an honor to be part of it.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And then let's talk a little bit about your team, because I do know that Danny and Sean are part of your team. And so if you can let me know what they do, both of them. So if someone wants to talk to you, but you're busy, I know that Sean is amazing and they can also talk to Sean. And in the meantime, Danny can give them a ton of information as well.
Yeah. Sean is an extension of me. He can answer all the questions because I can't talk to everybody all the time. I field tons of phone calls every day. So Sean is there to pick up where I kind of don't have the time. Mm-hmm. And Danny is our office manager, and she's fantastic. She keeps everything organized. She keeps me organized and keeps me on task.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. I think it's really great that your office works really such as a team. Because as your client, I know that whomever I talk to, I'm going to get the right answer. And I always feel like I'm the only person they take care of. So thank you for that. They're pretty amazing.
And Delphine, here's one important thing with all of us. We don't know it all because the mortgage industry is constantly changing. And if we don't have the right answer, we're not afraid of saying, you know what? I don't know that answer. Let me get back to you.
Yes, I do love that. So tell me, how is the mortgage industry doing with COVID-19?
I
know, it's a tough one. I think
the best word that would describe the mortgage market right now is complete chaos. We had 3 weeks ago, we had near record lows on interest rates. Last week, the week before last, mortgage bonds crashed and interest rates got up to close to 5.5. Nothing like this has ever been seen in history. Nothing has ever seen a crash like that. And I believe a lot of that was fear driven. Mm-hmm. So what happened is the Federal Reserve has jumped in a huge way and has started buying mortgage-backed security with the hopes of bringing those interest rates down. So we're trying to find some stability back in the market. Right now, there's no stability. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's going to go on with the financial markets. When are we coming out of this? How bad is COVID really going to be? Those are all questions we don't have an answer for. So that's where the market stress is right now.
Right. I absolutely agree. And so for everybody out there who wants to know, if I want to refinance, what should I know and what kind of actions should I take? And should I take it now or should I sit back and wait?
That would be a gut call on my behalf. I would have to say Every deal is unique, so we need to look at refinancing on every deal. If you can save money now, do it now, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. I mean, we don't know. So if rates are really good and it makes sense for you, then refinance. I think the biggest problem right now is going to be jobs. You know, you want to refinance, but you just got laid off. It's going to be difficult.
And
You
that
know,
leads me to my next question, actually. Has the process changed?
the process hasn't changed. And when I think of process, we go from the loan application to underwriting to closing to signing documents, etc. That's the process. Guidelines have changed. Yeah, there are many lenders. There are many lenders that aren't doing FHA lending right now. There are lenders that are being told that they can't do manufactured home lending right now. There are guidelines. There are new guidelines around appraisals because some people don't want the appraiser coming into their home because of COVID. So there's guidelines around that. If someone has been laid off, there's guidelines around that. And typically, if you've been laid off, that isn't stable income. You can't either buy or lend right now for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if I was considering buying a home, what should I do? Is the pre-approval process still the same as we were talking about process and
Pre-approval,
guidelines?
pre-approval is still the same. And should you buy a home now? Yeah. Do I think this is the zombie apocalypse and it's the end of the world? No, this isn't the zombie apocalypse. This isn't the end of the world. Is it going to be painful? Yeah, it's going to be painful. I'd be lying if I told you anything different. We're going to come out of this. It's always a great time to buy. There's a financial statement that we make when you're either buying stocks, bonds, homes. It's not trying to time the market, it's time in the market. You know,
Yeah.
so is it a great time to buy? Yeah, I think it's a great time to buy. You're going to buy at historical low rates.
And so, talking about rates, where can I find the right information? If I'm a buyer or a seller, or I need to refinance and I want to know where the rates are, there's so much information out there. You know, this has dropped the lowest ever, and then the next week, as you said, it changed and the bounce, totally crashed. And we're up to 5%. If I'm following all that information, what are the trusted resources for me to look at online so I don't just, you know,
There, Delphine, there are too many factors to just look online. You can't find a website that goes, okay, here's the rate that you can get. Rates are based on the product that you're using, a 30-year fixed, a 20, a 15, an ARM, etc. Your credit score, your loan to value, your loan size. All of these factors go into an interest rate. So when someone goes online and says, Will, I see that I can get a 30-year loan at 2.75, I'm going, okay, well, talk to me about that. Oh, well, see, that's a 5-1 ARM at 2.75 amortized over 30 years. In my opinion, there's too much misinformation online because people will go and they'll click on a rate, but they don't click on, oh, show me the parameters of this loan. Oh, you need a 780 credit score and blah, 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 blah. They ignore
Yep.
that.
And these
Like
are the
that
kind
right
of
there.
letters that we get in the mail, right? So I
Yes.
just got one of those, and it's actually has your company's name on top, which I was totally thinking it was you,
And
and it
look at the
is very
bottom.
misleading.
Yeah.
So I guess the short answer is call Will.
The
Call
short
your
answer,
office.
the short answer is online is going to give you a basis. Looking up Lending Tree and all these websites is going to give you a basis, but
Mhm.
don't take that for granted. Look at it and call a lender and go, okay, here's my parameters, and then we can build you an interest rate, and then you can go, oh, okay, that's what an interest rate looks like.
Yeah. I agree. I absolutely agree. I think in this short amount of time, we've covered a ton of stuff, and it's really great. I love the way that you're really kind of giving us information and the resources, the trusted resources for me. I have to thank you because you've
Yeah.
been in my corner for years now, and I truly appreciate you. I can call you anytime and ask, I got another letter. Are we refinancing?
Yeah. Yeah, Delphine, you probably won't believe this, but I turn away more refinances than I actually refinance, because all you have to do is run the numbers and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
For example, somebody wants to refinance a $100,000 loan and their interest rate today at 4.875. Does it make sense that I can get them in? Let's just play with numbers, say 3.75.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately look at it going 4.875, 3.75. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's $30 a month in savings. And by the time you pay your closing costs and set up a new loan, it doesn't make sense. Like I started with. Every loan is unique. Every situation is unique. And before you can say, yeah, it makes sense, or no, it doesn't make sense, you got to analyze
No, it is very true. You and I have been through this exercise so many
it.
times.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
the rate was low, but then my payments would be higher because of the different type of loans out there too. I've learned a ton really knowing about what's out there because of you. And I'm the kind of person, as you know, I have this talk, I love to ask questions. I need to know what I'm getting myself into. I need to know. And that's why I really feel it's so important to have the right lender, because you can answer all these questions for us. And it's such a big purchase, such a big, stressful, and full of anxiety time in the person's life, that it's really great to have people who are there to answer questions. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate you being here today, because I think you can help a lot of people with those simple questions, simple answers, straight to the point, and I truly appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And then let's talk about your photography. I
Okay.
have seen a few of your pictures and I'm in love with it. I will put a link below this video for everybody to be able to see that as well. Tell me more about how that started and what you like to photograph.
Well, my grandparents owned Jolly Rancher Candies. They started Jolly Rancher Candies back in the day. And I got introduced to art when I was a little kid. I used to travel with my grandparents all over Western United States, finding art, purchasing it with them. So I always had an eye for art and was raised with art. And the thing about a camera is an art, but the art in a camera is all about numbers. And so I'm a financial guy. I love numbers. I love the camera because it's numbers and it's getting creative with a camera. It's getting creative with those numbers on a camera. So that's my outlet from this craziness, because being a mortgage lender is brutal, because I'm helping you with your biggest purchase. There's an incredible amount of stress and fiduciary duty for me to take care of you. So my creative outlook is the photography.
That is amazing, amazing. And I have seen, thanks to Lauren, my hairdresser, she also has your pictures
Yeah,
in her
yeah.
shop, and I see them around town, and they are gorgeous. The way you capture light is fascinating. How do you do that? How do you learn? I
Well,
mean, it must take quite a bit of time.
the camera is all about light. Photography is all about the light. And how do you manipulate light? You manipulate light with f-stop, shutter speed, ISO, and you have to blend all those concepts to get what I call the perfect picture.
And because you photograph beautiful places out there, which one is your favorite? Tell me, because you've seen so many beautiful places.
My favorite place to photograph is one that I'm not in my office.
That is a great
No,
answer.
seriously, because I can't pick a favorite spot. I mean, the Southwest Desert is amazing. The Black Canyon is amazing. The San Juans are amazing. Yellowstone, the whole Northwest is amazing. I mean, it's all amazing. So just being out there and being out there with my family taking photographs, how does it get any better than that?
I agree. I absolutely agree. And talking about being out there right now is quite a historical, as we talked about, a historical time and challenging time. How are you keeping on a schedule? How are you doing with the girls at home? How is everything going for you at home?
Well, I'm very lucky. I've got an amazing wife who is homeschooling the girls and taking care of that so that I can work. I'm incredibly busy. My home office is up and running. We're all working to make sure that we close people's loans, either purchases or refinances. That's very important to us. We're all working through that. We're doing well. We're taking the virus very seriously, and staying away from as many people as we can, social distancing. Just want to try to keep that curve flat and make sure that people stay healthy.
Fantastic. And what we like to do on my talk is to have a couple of book recommendations. What have you been reading lately that you find very interesting or entertaining?
One of the best. There's two books I'm going to recommend, and I think these are books that are kind of self-help books. Bob Berg and the Go Giver is an unbelievable book. I firmly believe in that book, The Go Giver. That's how I try to live my life.
Nice.
And then the second book is by Sean Acker, Achor, Sean Acker, The Happiness Advantage. And that's an amazing book as well.
I found this on the
That sounds amazing. I love that series, spying
They
on.
would become, well, the Sean Acker and The Happiness Advantage is society in the United States has it all wrong. If I'm more successful, I will be more happy. Well, think about it. When has the bar ever reached a point where you've been successful enough so you're happy? Once you get to a certain peak, they raise your goals. Oh, will I get here? Will I be happier? Oh, will I get here? Will I be happier? No, that's backwards. Happiness is you will be more successful when you are happy, and then the success will come. It's an amazing book.
That's what Steve Jobs said. He passed quite young, and he said that people say I'm successful, but I wouldn't define what I've done as success because he lost all of his loved ones on the way. And so I found this so profound and so true that, we need to understand what's important. And that's kind of what I like about these times right now, to be honest, with what's happening and the shift of people's priority. I talk in real estate, I talk to people in cities who are like, I want to move out to Montrose. I want to be out there with my kids. I want to be able to do fun things and be out there and not work as much as I have been. And I think it's just realigning priorities for people. So
Yeah. Well, think about it, Delphine. We have become a very narcissistic society, and it's all about us. And what I have been doing and trying to do is call people on a daily basis that I haven't spoken to, check in on them, make sure and see how they're doing. Is there anything I can do? I hope the lesson that we learn from this is it's not about us. It's not about me. It's about us, and it's about the people that we bring into our lives. That's who makes our lives important. I mean, I'm so sick of the I, me, I society. No, let's reach out and help everybody. Let's give. Go Giver, great book.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for all your time today. We try to keep these short so they're all fun for everybody. And I really appreciate your time. Everyone, this is Will Harnsen from Cornerstone Home Lending. They're located on Main Street in Montrose, and I will put your page down below with your information on photography as well. Thank you so much for your time, Will. I truly appreciate all your tips today.
Hey, Delphine, thank you for allowing me to be on here. I'm honored.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Uh-huh.